Welcome back to Demolition Worker, where we tear down the giants of the sea to reveal their hidden mechanical secrets today. Today marks the most dramatic chapter in our journey as we prepare to breach the massive hull of this legendary vessel. Deep inside this colossal steel leviathan beats a monumental heart of pure power that we must carefully extract from the darkness. The target is a titanic diesel engine system weighing thousands of tons, a masterpiece of marine engineering that drove this ship. To remove this gigantic mechanical beast, we cannot go through the top decks, so we must find a much bolder path. Our only viable option is to carve a massive opening directly through the thick side armor of the giant lower hull. We call this dangerous operation creating the window of death, an incredibly risky maneuver that demands absolute precision from our crew. The sheer thickness of the marine-grade steel means our thermal cutting tools must operate at their maximum temperature limits. Every single worker on this site understands the immense gravity of today's mission and the catastrophic consequences of a single mistake. The ground literally trembles as we mobilize our heaviest machinery to the dock, preparing for the ultimate test of industrial strength. Our lead engineers carefully map out the exact dimensions of the extraction window, calculating structural integrity to prevent a hull collapse. These simple white lines represent the boundary between a successful mechanical extraction and a potentially devastating structural failure for the ship. The cutting crew ignites their heavy-duty plasma torches, creating blinding blue flames that will soon slice through the dense armor. As the intense heat meets the cold steel, molten metal begins to drip down the side like glowing tears of hot lava. A spectacular shower of bright orange sparks cascades into the dark water below, illuminating the massive scale of our demolition project. Protected by layers of specialized heat-resistant gear, our veteran cutters push forward with steady hands and unwavering focus on safety. Slowly but surely, the glowing red line extends across the massive steel plates, weakening the structural barrier that protects the hidden engine. Thick plumes of dark smoke rise into the sky as decades of marine paint and protective coatings burn away under intense heat. From inside the dark engine room, the cutting line looks like a glowing red laser slicing through the pitch-black shadows. The colossal diesel engine sits silently in the gloom, a sleeping giant waiting to be awakened and pulled from its tomb. We are finally approaching the last corner of the massive steel rectangle, holding our breath as the heavy plate comes totally loose. A smaller support crane carefully attaches its magnetic grips to the severed hull section to prevent it from falling uncontrollably downward. With a deafening groan of tearing metal, the giant steel plate is successfully pulled away, revealing the dark, cavernous space inside. Natural sunlight floods into the lower decks for the very first time, illuminating the intricate details of the massive mechanical heart. As the thick industrial dust slowly settles, we can truly appreciate the terrifying scale and complexity of this incredible power plant. Each individual cylinder is large enough for a grown man to stand inside, showcasing the raw horsepower required to move ships. The window of death is now fully open, providing us with a clear but extremely tight pathway to extract the engine. Now it is time to bring in the true heavy lifter, our magnificent 1,200-ton crawler crane machine. The massive steel tracks crush the concrete dock as this absolute monster of a machine slowly rolls into its lifting position. Its gigantic boom extends high into the clear sky, casting a long, intimidating shadow over the entire shipyard and the vessel. Inside the high-tech cabin, our most experienced crane operator carefully checks all digital load sensors and critical wind speed monitors. Thick steel cables, each one capable of holding hundreds of tons, are slowly unspooled and guided toward the gaping hull opening. Our bravest rigging team enters the dangerous engine room to manually secure the heavy lifting straps around the massive iron block. They must find the exact structural lifting points designed by the original manufacturers to ensure the massive engine remains perfectly balanced. Every single chain and shackle is meticulously inspected and tightened because a snapped link right now would mean absolute catastrophic failure. After hours of exhausting and dangerous preparation in the dark, the rigging team finally steps back and gives the thumbs up. The operator gently pulls the main lever, and the massive diesel engine of the crawler crane responds with deafening loud roars. The thick steel cables instantly snap tight like guitar strings, vibrating intensely under the sudden application of such immense pulling force. A terrifying symphony of groaning steel echoes across the shipyard as the massive engine stubbornly resists leaving its longtime home. With a loud metallic crack, the rusted mounting bolts finally give way, and the colossal heart shifts slightly from its base. The massive steel block is now hovering just a few millimeters above the deck, entirely supported by the tensioned crane cables. The immense weight transfers to the crane, causing the massive track system to press even deeper into the reinforced concrete dock. A single bead of sweat rolls down the operator's face as he makes microscopic adjustments to maintain the perfect center balance. Slowly and methodically, the suspended engine begins its horizontal journey toward the jagged edges of the newly cut window of death. The clearance on either side is terrifyingly small, leaving absolutely no room for error as the giant swings through the gap. A sudden gust of wind causes a slight sway, making the engine scrape the hull and sending a shower of sparks. The veteran operator instantly reacts with incredible precision, smoothly correcting the dangerous swing before it can damage the crane or ship. The colossal mechanical heart is now halfway out of the vessel, hanging suspended over the dark waters like a captured beast. From high above, this operation looks like a delicate mechanical ballet performed by incredibly massive and powerful machines of industrial destruction. With one final calculated pull, the massive diesel engine completely clears the ship hull, entering the bright sunlight of the yard. The ground crew watches in absolute awe as thousands of tons of complex machinery float gracefully through the clear blue sky. The crawler crane begins to slowly rotate its massive body, carefully carrying the heavy prize toward the designated safe landing zone. Golden sunlight reflects off the thick layers of dark grease and industrial oil that still coat the exterior of the engine. The descent begins as the operator gently lowers the colossal weight toward the reinforced concrete pads prepared on the dry dock. With a heavy thud that shakes the ground, the massive heart finally touches down safely, completing the most dangerous extraction phase. The thick steel cables instantly go slack, and a collective sigh of relief washes over the exhausted but triumphant demolition crew. Our specialized dismantling team immediately approaches the resting giant, ready to begin the complex process of breaking it down into pieces. Every single component of this beautiful machine will be carefully inspected and separated to ensure maximum efficiency in our recycling process. Heavy hydraulic tools are brought in to extract the massive steel pistons, which are still covered in thick layers of carbon. We meticulously separate the high-quality steel, valuable copper wiring, and specialized aluminum alloys into their respective industrial recycling collection bins. More sparks fill the air as smaller thermal cutters begin slicing the main engine block into manageable chunks for the smelter. A secondary crane lifts a massive chunk of the severed block, transporting it directly to the heavy transport trucks waiting nearby. Environmental safety is our absolute priority, so all residual heavy oils and toxic lubricants are carefully drained into secure containment vessels. Our dedicated crew ensures that not a single drop of hazardous liquid escapes into the delicate marine ecosystem surrounding the dock. Piece by piece, the once mighty heart of the ocean giant is systematically reduced to a neat pile of valuable scrap. Miles of thick copper wiring are tightly bundled together, ready to be melted down and repurposed for entirely new electrical systems. The lightweight aluminum components will soon find a new life, perhaps as parts for modern automobiles or even advanced aerospace projects. This high-grade marine steel is incredibly valuable and will be forged into new structural beams to build future architectural wonders. Our advanced recycling partners are standing by to receive these materials, turning our destructive efforts into a sustainable cycle of creation. It is incredibly rewarding hard work, knowing that our extreme efforts today will prevent these precious materials from rusting away uselessly. We look back at the gaping hole in the side of the ship, a silent testament to the raw power extracted. The once deafeningly loud engine room is now completely empty and silent, echoing only with the gentle sounds of the ocean. Relieved of thousands of tons of internal weight, the massive hull of the vessel actually sits noticeably higher in the water. The magnificent crawler crane finally powers down its roaring engine, having successfully completed one of the most challenging lifts in history. As the golden sun begins to set over the busy shipyard, casting long, dramatic shadows, we reflect on today's massive achievement. A long convoy of heavy transport trucks drives away into the sunset, carrying the dismantled pieces of the great mechanical heart. We are incredibly proud to announce that a staggering 95% of this massive engine system will be fully recycled. Almost nothing will go to waste, as these old metallic bones will be reborn in the fiery furnaces of modern industry. The entire demolition crew gathers together for a well-deserved moment of rest, sharing stories of the intense pressure they faced. Our lead engineer is already reviewing the complex blueprints for tomorrow, because the dismantling of this oceanic giant is far from over. Next time, we will tackle the towering upper decks, stripping away the luxurious cabins and massive entertainment spaces of the vessel. We will tear into the sophisticated navigation bridge, dismantling the complex electronic brains that once guided this massive ship across oceans. And soon, we will have to dive deep into the dark waters to sever the colossal bronze propellers from their shafts. This ship is a floating city of steel, and taking it apart requires an army of dedicated experts and fearless operators. The work of a demolition crew is never truly finished, as there is always another aging giant waiting to be dismantled. This spectacular yard is a unique place where the glorious past of maritime engineering meets the sustainable future of global recycling. The dark silhouette of the hollowed-out hull stands against the vibrant orange sky, a beautiful but melancholy industrial art piece. These tough, grease-covered hands are the true driving force behind our success, turning dangerous dreams into safe and profitable realities. The massive steel hook of the crane swings gently in the evening breeze, ready to lift another impossible burden tomorrow morning. Every single ton of sorted scrap metal represents a massive victory for our environment and a triumph of human engineering skill. We carefully remove the iconic brass nameplate of the vessel, preserving a small piece of history before the hull is destroyed. This polished piece of metal will serve as a lasting memory of the incredible voyages this mighty ship once bravely undertook. As we pull back from the massive work site, the sheer magnitude of what we accomplished today finally sinks in completely. Bright industrial security lights flicker on across the yard, illuminating the massive steel skeleton that awaits our heavy tools tomorrow morning. Our brave crew finally heads home to rest their tired muscles, knowing they safely conquered the most dangerous challenge of all. We successfully extracted the multi-horsepower heart of the beast, proving that no demolition job is too big for our team. Thank you for watching this incredible extraction journey today, and do not forget to subscribe to Demolition Worker for more action.